It's a great pleasure to be talking with you this morning. We have been having a lot of back and forth with Sylvie about what exactly you're trying to do with the HALT prize and the role that you're having in development of the food systems in Kenya and what you exactly want to play. Yes, so my name is Dickson, and I'm the co-founder of UjuziKilimo Solutions. We are an enterprise whose focus is on the development and assisting smallholder farmers to sustainably improve farm productivity and increase their income levels. We were founded in 2015, and we are based in Nairobi, Kenya, with offices in Thaiga, and we have a field office in Nyeri County. Yeah, so thank you for that. That is just the general overview of exactly who we are and what we do.
Okay.
Sylvia, back to you.
Yeah. So the purpose of this session today is for you to basically tell us about how you started as UjuziKilimo. So, of course, obviously you started as a startup. So, how did you figure out the problem, and how did you come up with a solution? So, what kind of solution are you currently implementing in the field, and how did you build that solution? Like, what was the first prototype like, and how did you scale it up? How did you get to where you are right now? And so the steps that you went through before the prototyping, before you got to the pitching, before you got to the investors. So basically, we just want for you to tell us like some of these things, just to mentor us on how we can also do our own projects, and we can come up with really good ideas. So you can just give us an overview of your journey as a startup until the very big and very successful company that you are right now, and also the challenges that you experienced along the way, and just show us how we can also do this. Yeah.
Okay. So Sylvia, even before just we go on, I could just like to know everybody who is here and what exactly they're doing, and then probably I'll be able to jump onto the UjuziKilimo story.
Okay. So yeah, we can definitely do that. Most of the people here are students.
Yep.
And of course, they're all going to be participating in the Health Praise on Campus program, and so they're just here to find out like where they should start, how they should start. So perhaps we can have maybe 2 or 3 people to just tell us about where they are right now. Sylvia, if you can hear me, would you like to start us off?
Hello. Am I?
Yes. Yes, you are, Sylvia.
Okay, so thank you. My name is Sylvia. I'm a student at KU, final year. I have, let me say maybe 2. So for my final year project, which is also food related, so for that I am doing something on automating rice irrigation in Moya. And I'm not very far on that. I'm still at some, let me say, basic level of development. Let me say I'm not yet at the prototype phase, but I'm not at the idea phase. I'm somewhere in between there. And for the HALT prize for the group project, we have sort of several options. We are yet to narrow in on which one we'll proceed with. So far that's what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvia.
So that, as you've heard, she's also, besides participating in the Health Prize, she's also doing her final year project, which is based in food. So yeah, that's really good. So next we can have Humphrey. Humphrey is actually one of the organizing committee members for the Health Prize Kenyatta University. So I'll let him introduce himself and his role, and also to talk about what he's also doing and what he expects to get out of this. Humphrey, if you can hear me.
Yes, thank you very much, Sylvia, and also Ayuka. My My name is Humphrey Rob. I'm a finalist medical student at KU, and I'm also the Delegate Experience Manager at the Health Prize on Campus program. And basically, my role is just to create outreach and also mobilize students in terms of the participation in the prize competition. And I'm also an aspiring social entrepreneur, and I will be also participating in the Health Prize. So far, I have a lot of several options, but with time, we'll have to one. And that's why I'm here. I want to learn. I want to know what exactly is needed to start. And so I'm looking forward to this session. Thank you.
Okay, so that was Humphrey. And then perhaps we can have someone else who'd like to talk about what they expect to get out of this. So Faith, Mary Faith, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah. So maybe you can just tell us about what you expect to, what you're doing, what you expect to do at Health Prize, and what you expect to get out of this mentorship session.
Well, for me and my team, especially, we are having a project that is currently under scrutinization, so we cannot say per se where exactly we are. That's why we're here today, so that we can get to be mentored on this project, to see where people were before and where they are, the challenges they've been through, and how they overcame it. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Faith. So that's more or less what everyone is here for. Yeah. So I think now we can allow you to go ahead with UjuziKilimo. Just, we are very excited to find out, like, where do we even as we're all students by there, so we just want to find out where do we all start and how do we move on.
Thank you, Sylvia, for that. So just to tell you, UjuziKilimo was founded in a hostel in Jomo Kenyatta University in January 2015. And just to probably give you a little bit of a founding story about UjuziKilimo is, at this particular time, I did my undergraduate in the Technical University of Kenya. My co-founder, Brian, was in Jomo Kenyatta University. And I visited Jomo Kenyatta University because I had this project that I really wanted to work on. And by then it was called housing.com. So just to give you a brief history about housing.com, before I go to UjuziKilimo. So Technical University of Kenya is one of those notorious institutions without accommodation. And it was an extremely big challenge to find accommodation. So I thought, like, if I could, come up with a very simple idea on housing, so, to just get to assist me and probably like other students who definitely were facing the same challenge. So I visited Jomo Kenyatta University. I visited a friend of mine, now my co-founder, Brian, to tell him about this amazing idea that I have and the challenges that I'm facing, and how we can work together on this, really, because I don't have a background in software engineering, so I needed a software engineer to be able to to develop the web platform for me. So when I get to JKUAT, and then we're Brian in his dorm room, and then we are having this discussion. And then at the same time, there is another gentleman who was on the other room. I think he had developed some, school management system, and he was presenting to a student leader who happened to be sleeping in the adjacent room to Brian. So when I heard about what he was saying, I definitely got very interested about him, because then I felt like he's someone who really knows something about development and web applications. So I went and reached out to him, and then I asked him, once he's done, maybe you can join us in Brian's room, and then we can be having this discussion about this idea that I want to have built. So finally, he did manage to complete, but and then joined us. But at the same time, as I was having a conversation with Brian has a background in electronics and computer engineering, and you know, he had developed some kind of, he was really developing some solutions in greenhouse farming, and I really got very interested, very interested in them. Um, like, what kind of application could they have? So when I saw it, I thought like this could definitely be a very viable idea. So, you know, he had a background in development, and then I thought, you know, maybe I can find market for this. So naturally, like, I think I'm a very going person, in the sense that I always believe, like, you know, I mean, money oriented, yes, but then, you know, we can solve problems and get money. So so then I told Brian, like, you develop this thing, let me go find market for it. Henry joined us that time then, still in that room, you know, as our discussion was going on. And that is how definitely, and that is how simply, like, UjuziKilimo was started. But the main thing that why we founded UjuziKilimo is, or like, I found like very important was, you know, I was coming from also a community of farmers. I come from Kisii, and definitely Kisii is one of those regions that most people, you know, we are farmers, and we had been facing challenges. And what Brian had developed, I saw application for it in Kisii, and I thought, like, definitely we can, you know, we can be able to sell these somewhere. And so that is how UjuziKilimo started to what it is today. Now, then what goes next was, you know, it's definitely the idea at that point in time. But what we have realized that was even more important was the fact that we found ourselves like being people who are very interested in building stuff, you know, like not necessarily like any kind of thing, but if you're able to just build anything and you feel like, you know, it could make impact to people, you can push this to the market, then it gets very interesting, because then you can get to sell it. So that was basically how UjuziKilimo was founded in 2015. So during that particular time, I recall I was in my third year in university. Brian was in third year, and Henry was also in third year. So we founded it in our dorm room, and then from there we had approached one of people just from within our network, who later came to provide us with some office space in Kilimani, where we worked there for quite some time, I think around 2 or 3 years, before we finally were able to move to our own office space right now in Thaigam. So I think I definitely want also this session to be very interactive, so that it doesn't feel like a lecture. So I could anticipate like you have as many questions as possible, so that it can also help me up in building up the story. But what I could definitely want to tell each one of you here is that I think the first thing is you're in the right place, and the fact that you really feel like you can build something, and it can have any kind of impact in the society. That in itself is a very good a very good spirit. So, and what is even more important is ideas don't last. I can tell you for sure, like the idea we had of UjuziKilimo in 2015 is a very different idea of what we have right now, and we definitely feel like it's going to change within the next years. But what is more important is first to understand what exactly do you want to do in the particular field that you are in. So if all of us are right now in food systems, so if, for example, like Sylvia talked about automation of rice irrigation systems. I mean, for example, like what is the end goal of automating, for example, like rice irrigation systems? So I mean, the basic idea could be like we don't want farmers to be carrying water, or like we feel like they're wasting a lot of water. Well, that is a good reason. What other reason is even more important? So you'll find here, for example, like if it's on irrigation, the end goal is to really assist these farmers have efficiency in production, with definitely an end goal of increasing farm productivity for rice farmers. So like so if I was Sylvie, like my goal could be like to increase or to improve the farm productivity of rice farmers. And then at this point in time, then when you go out there in the field and you find that farmers are not really interested, for example, in irrigation systems, or like the system they already have, they are working and they're not interested for a moment with the irrigation systems, for example, then you can easily shift to something which works, but your end goal is to really assist these rice farmers to improve farm productivity. Yes, so Sylvia, maybe you can have a little bit more of questions so that I can build up on this.
Yeah, definitely. So actually, so you've told us how you and your co-founders got together and decided
Yes.
to start UjuziKilimo. So
Yes.
actually, I'm wondering, how did you see the problem? You said that you were looking to find a solution in housing, and then your friend in JKUAT who has a background in electronics, was doing something to do with greenhouses and just automating agriculture. So did you find were you all did that person have background in sensors and big data? Because we know that's what UjuziKilimo does. Do you have that background in sensors and big data, and you decided, we have this knowledge, so let's find a problem that we can solve using this knowledge? Or did you find the problem first? Did you figure out, oh, by the way, there's usually this problem in agriculture that farmers do not usually know, like what fertilizers to use or what the conditions of their soil is, so that they can be able to make the changes that can enable them to have a higher crop yield? So did you see that problem, and then did you decide now to find the solution, which is what led you to get into big data and sensors, and now creating now the devices that you're using to help these farmers? So how did it start? Was it the solution first, then the problem, or was it the problem first and then the solution?
I think like just to be definitely clear, like I think it could also be a chicken and egg kind of a problem. Like, which comes first? Is it the problem or the solution? I mean, ideally, it should always be, you identify a problem first, and then you go out there and then you start building a solution for it, and then you see if it works. But sometimes, that's not the case, because, for example, in our case, me, I was just interested in, solving this problem, which was housing. And my friend was just developing sensors because the co-founder was, software engineer. I was just interested in development of solutions along development, around web applications and just solutions. About not really a problem, or like so what basically happens if you're looking, for example, at farmers today, like farmers have three major challenges in this case. So the first thing they want to is to increase their farm productivity. The second goal for farmers, like, how can have like um, markets for my project. And if you're providing a solution that is clearly not addressing any of those three key challenges in terms of adoption of this kind of a solution. So that is why, like, for me, like, I could definitely advise you, like, at this point in time, you want to be spending your all the time with the farmers, more than even development of some of these solutions, because then you can really identify, like, what is really important for this particular farmer. Because what happens is that, you know, like I can say, for example, we are a hardware company right now, and you know, we have definitely big data whereby we are developing sensors for, you know, to assist farmers, you know, clearly identify, like, the nutrients in the soil. So basically, like, soil testing, a field sensor to measure the soil parameters, and then provide farmers with recommendations on the use of inputs. So
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Hello, I can hear you.
Oh, the problem was on his end.
Yes.
So let's just give him a few moments to rejoin the meeting. Also, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to just post them on the chat or just raise your hand. We'll give you a chance to ask. Yeah. Anything you'd like to know about what they're doing in terms of their systems, what they're creating, how they came up with that kind of a solution, what resources they required to come up with that solution, and the people who helped them. Okay. Dickson, I see you back. Hello, Dickson, can you hear me?
yeah, hello, Sylvia.
Yes.
Yes, you're able to get me?
Yes, we can hear you. Just go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was saying, like, you know, we had these sensors that initially we were providing for farmers. And our initial idea, for example, was to sell these sensors to the farmers, yeah?
Uh-huh.
So that they can use them, you know, to test their soil, and then they can make the right, right, you know, like ideas of, you know, don't buy this stuff. What they just want to know is what exactly do they need to do in their farm. And, you know, these things sometimes can take so long for you to get to know them, and they have really taken us a lot of time. But finally, you know, we have been able to figure out that they really don't, you know, care about these sensors, but what they care about is if you can provide them with the information, and then how they are going to use that information, and, you know, by the end of the day, improve their farm productivity. Yes, so that is it. Like, I can just advise you, like, at this stage, you want to be very much in contact with the farmers now that you're developing solutions for people, for smallholder farmers. You want to visit them as much as you can, spend much time with them as you can, ask them questions, what they really care about, so that as you go about developing a solution, you tailor it to a specific pass for a moment. Yeah. Now, I think then what we can do is I can see, like, there's a group chat here. So probably,
Yes.
just have, like, questions here, so that I'll just this in setting up how they got funding. Yes. Now, here comes a question then. What comes first? Is it all the funds or the market? Definitely, like funding is one of the major challenges of facing now. And is facing funding challenges. Even with UjuziKilimo today, we are facing funding challenges probably, but you know it could be different from when looking out. So the first thing you want to do is you want to like have an MVP developed. So that is why like it's important when, for example, you're starting out, you are able to build a small team of technical people. So if Sylvia, you're developing like irrigation system, partner with someone, example, so that if when it comes to like the mechanical parts, then this person can provide this expertise for free. Because before you can you need a minimum viable product, like an MVP, and match. So even for a very, very fast sensors that we developed, the parts,
Hey guys, I am very sorry about that. Clearly, he is having issues with network. We've all experienced them. So, yeah, I think let's just can give him a few minutes to come back. A few seconds, rather.
Yeah, hello.
Hello? Yes, we can hear you.
I don't know, like having I keep dropping off. I don't know what's happening.
Network.
But
We all understand network issues.
well, yeah. So I was saying something about funding. So to start off, you need an MVP, like a minimum viable product, something that you can test, because that is what you're going to use to attract any kind of funding. So for MVPs, I can advise you like find even the little resources that you have, so that you can build like a minimum viable product, because this is what you're going to use even to pitch to your friends, even to like the very, very fast investors, to tell them, like, we are building this and this and this. We have been able to build an MVP. This is how it works. And we have people who want to buy a number of these devices right now. Yeah, so that is it about funding to get it started.
Okay, so there were a few more questions on the chat. Let me just read them out to you. So, besides funding, what are the other biggest challenges that you experienced in setting up while you were starting off, in the very early stages of when you were setting up your organization? Like, what are the challenges that you experienced?
Yeah, so one thing I can tell you for sure is that building a startup, the fact that you have started building, and in fact, there is a survey which says that 98% of young companies collapse before the lapse of 2 years, and out of the remaining 2%, 98% of them collapse before 5 years. So what this means is that the likelihood of failure is always extremely high. And it could be because of various reasons. It could be because of funding. It could be because of the market doesn't want your product completely. But I think like what is very, very important is you need to build a team. A team of people who are extremely ambitious and very, very persistent, and who can consistently remain being here as we build this. I think that is what basically has been able to assist us as of today, because even as a founder or as a co-founder, at one point in time, not very long from now, you're going to feel like giving up. And if you are alone, I can tell you like the chance of you giving up are very, very, very easy. But when you are two of you, then at least when someone feels one of you feels like giving up, one of you is still highly enthusiastic about what you're doing, and you can hold on as you get yourself back on your feet. So my advice is like find people who you can do it together, two or three. It's really advisable that at least you be two or three to start out. Don't be alone, because they can really assist. Besides, another challenge in definitely starting off is funding still is a big issue, because at the time you're trying to build something, you also need your personal expenses. You're paying rent, for example. If you're staying in Nairobi, you need to care for your food. So at a time like it's advisable that you are able to fend for this. So that is why like at times it's really good when you start off when you're a student, because simply like at that point in time, maybe your parents are still covering up your bills, so you can just be trying out stuff during your free times to try and see if you can get off as quickly as possible. Then by the time maybe they are pressuring you to go and find a job, at least you have something that is working, and probably you can attract like the very, very fast kind of finances. But also like still on the issue about finances and funding, there are all these business plan competitions. There are so many of them, I can tell you. And you also want to be participating in many of them as possible when you're starting off. And just to reinforce on the importance of having two people at this time, it means that you can focus on building the product at the same time, being in some of these business competitions to see if you can attract any finances fast to get off. Yes, so that is it about that. And then
another question that's been asked. So if you have a myriad of ideas about like the kind of solution that you want to build, how do you narrow into just one with the most impact and creativity? Like for you, did you have such a challenge? Like you had so many ideas of how to solve the problem for farmers, and then you were able to narrow down into using just specifically big data and sensors and just building around that?
What I can tell you clearly is try a lot of stuff and keep what works.
Okay.
Get it?
Yes.
Yes. So if you have 5 ideas right now, you want to test them as quickly as you can. As quickly as you can. Because I can tell you for sure, like ideas like, you can think, you really think that you got a nice idea, like this is really going to work, until you get to the people and then they really don't see any value in it. They don't see if it makes sense. So you really don't want to go into the market like, fixated on the idea that this is what I'm going to be doing. This is how it's going to work, and this is how it's going to, create impact. This is how it's going to create money for us. So the thing is, I can advise you is try a lot of stuff and keep what works. So if you are into rice farming, for example, like maybe you have developed an overhead sprinkler, but you get there and you find it's not working, then try out the next one. Maybe you can do drip irrigation. If it's not working, then try a furrow irrigation. If it's not working, then try another thing. And if you get to a point that irrigation in itself is not working altogether, but farmers are more interested in getting good quality seed, then move quickly to good quality seed. Yeah. So keep just what works. Just try out everything and keep what works and what can consistently at least make you money for a moment. Yes.
Yes, I believe that's even one of the principles of the lean startup methodology. It's called validated learning. You just keep trying and keep what works and let go of what doesn't, and just do repeated trials as fast as you possibly can. So another question that was asked, actually someone was asking whether you could repeat the 3 main things that you said farmers usually want. So earlier on you'd mentioned.
So first is, so one thing is they want to improve their farm productivity. Yeah.
Yes.
The second one is they want better market access for their produce.
Mm-hmm.
Thirdly is they want to lower their cost of production.
Okay. So more or less for farmers in food production, those are the key things that farmers usually want. So if you guys, if you as delegates want to innovate around food agriculture and food production, so those are the key things that farmers usually look for: increasing farm productivity, better market access, and lower costs of production. So that's actually where you can get some of your ideas for the HALT prize from. So guys, just keep that in mind.
Yes.
So another question.
Yes. So.
Oh, sorry. Just go ahead.
Yeah. So just to add on, like I can tell you. So like when you are developing those ideas and you're thinking about those ideas, first, like you try and see like where they fit on those 3 major categories, and then go out there and test them as quickly as possible. So farmers really care about improving their farm productivity. Like my cow is right now is producing 4 liters of milk. How can I get it to 10 liters of milk per day? I'm selling a liter of milk at this amount of money. How can I get more? Where is the best market I can get them there quickly? Or what is it like really costing like milk in Nairobi to be very expensive, and maybe at the farm to be very, very affordable or low. Like, how can we assist this farmer, like probably get better market? How can we lower the cost of production? This farmer is using millions of thousands of shillings per month in this cost, but then the production is still low. Like, how can we assist them to lower their cost of production? Probably like if it's irrigation, I'm thinking like they're spending a lot of money in getting the water or like digging these tunnels, but maybe this system like can lower their cost of production by this percentage. And just to assist you there, like it should be measurable. Like a farmer should be able to see it in as in monetary kind of values. Like I'm saving 20% by using this irrigation system than this one that I've been using. So it's very, very important that we're able to understand and innovate just around that. Yeah.
Okay. So another question from MD Agape. At the conceptual phase, how best can one
Yes.
construct a sustainable vision? So since we've seen like a lot of great ideas getting undone in a very short time, so how best can one construct a sustainable vision?
Well, yes. So let's just be clear on this. Yeah. First, I can tell you that ideas don't hold. It's simple like that. Like ideas, like each and every single day, there is a better idea that is coming. So if we are talking, just to give a scenario, if you're talking about cars, each and every year there are better cars which are coming. So if you're just going to stick to your idea that this is what you think is really perfect, then I can tell you for sure that you're not going to create a business. But what really works, there's a saying that says that we should concentrate on clock building and not time telling. So in this case, if I can give you a story, like whereby you find like there's this one person who you can ask and then they can tell you the time by not even look, they just see the position of the sun and they tell you right now it's 10:53 a.m. And when indeed you look at the watch, then you're able to say that, oh, they are right. So this person is really good. He's a visionary. He can tell us the time, but he's not going to be there forever. So ideally, what this person should be doing, instead of us just telling us the time, it should be billing us a clock instead and telling us, you can use this clock to tell your time. So in the issue of like whereby you see ideas sinking, it's simply because you fall in love with your idea. You think like this is really perfect. This is what is going to make me money, and you go out there in the market and nobody wants it, but you still believe in it. Instead of just changing quickly so that you can move on to something that works, you still hold on to your love, which is these amazing ideas you have been building. And within a short period of time, people don't want this thing completely. You can't sell it, and then you close down. And I can tell you, like, a number of companies are collapsing because of just sticking to the idea they started with, instead of just going up. I can focus on trying out stuff, so that you can build up. But at the same time, there's something I said about preserving the core. So if I take a case of Sylvia, who says they're building automated rice irrigations. The end goal of this is, for example, to assist these farmers lower their cost of production, because they're spending a lot of money on buying water, or increase their farm production, because maybe this thing like can assist farmers improve their farm production. So the thing that Sylvia should be caring about is improving farm productivity for this farmer, so that if you go out there and you find that irrigation is not working, you can quickly just change on to something else that is working, but at the same time. Hello?
Hello, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes. So I think I think that is it about MD, about building a vision. So I can tell you, like, just have something that you want to stick on with, like, whether it's like the big goal, whether it's improving farm productivity for these farmers, whether it's getting better market or to improve their farm productivity. So that whatever you want to do just along the way ties up to the end goal that you want to achieve, which is whatever you are going to choose. Yeah.
Okay.
So that is what that is what you should only remain true to, like the end goal. Like, we want to, by the end of the day, we want to see these farmers very successful. That is our end goal. Whatever you're going to do to see them successful changes each and every single day. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So there's a question from Simeon who is asking how you get end users to like subscribe to your idea. Basically, how you get people to actually use your product.
Now, there are various ways in which you can do this, but the simplest way is first to identify who particularly can use your idea, and just walk to them and tell them, there's this product that you have, you would like them to try, and give them to try. So that is why, like I was saying, like the importance of having an MVP. So if Sylvia here has built this irrigation system, it's up, it's just a single one. Go to Mwea with this system, find a farmer, provide it to them, ask them to try it, follow up with them, and then ask them for a further network to first test it. So the first thing that you should be interested in about is finding the very, very first people to test this product. And how you find them is go wherever they are and talk to them. And if you talk to them and they use it for a week and they tell you, by the way, this thing is not so good, listen to them carefully and ask them why it's not so good and how they think it could be better, instead of then still going on and billing and thinking that we're going to find other people who we think who thinks this is better for them. But instead, like, listen to those first people. So talk to them, like, do door to door, like, sales and campaigns. Yes, for a start, you really want to do that. But then as you develop, once you have tested, then you can now approach bigger people. You can approach, whether it's a circle, for example, farmers of circles. We have so many of them. They have thousands of farmers. You can talk to them and tell them, we have already tested this with 50 farmers. All of them are paying for it. And we think like this could be a very, very good value proposition for you to scale this up to all the 500 farmers you have in your circle or in your cooperative, or even in a big company, whether it's Nestle or Unilever. They have thousands of tea farmers or whatever farmers that they have. At that point in time, you can be able to approach them and they can take it up. But for right now, you really want to focus on testing that idea if it's working. That is the most important thing right now to do. Yes.
Okay, so yes, it's very important to do the testing before you actually approach other big people to help you get your idea to a bigger audience. However, you've mentioned that you also participated in a number of competitions in order to try and fund your idea when you were starting up. So had you already tried out your project before you pitched actually even in your first competition, in the first competition that you participated in, had you tried out your idea? Had you tested it among
the very, very first pitch competition we did was in July 2015. And at this time, we had a minimum viable product. We had something that was at least working, and we were testing it actively. So the moment we went there to pitch, we said that, this is what we want to build. So at that point in time, we can talk about the big vision of what exactly we want to do. And as of today, we could say like, we want to ensure like millions of farmers in Kenya are able to test their soil and make their right decisions on the use of inputs to increase their farm efficiency, with an end goal of definitely improving their farm productivity and income levels. And as of today, we have tested with 10 farmers, and this solution is working. 5 of these farmers have already paid for it, and we are in schedule to hit 200 farmers within the next 6 months. So that story is believable, because then you have that MVP that is visible, and definitely people want to fund or assist concrete things, because sometimes ideas, the idea sometimes can sound too good on paper until you try it and it's not working completely. But if you have something, a very simple thing, a very minimum viable product that you can show to people, then people can start seeing more of it, and probably like also build a mental picture of what this could become, and then they are more ready and willing to jump on board with you. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, thank you for that. So the next question is actually about team dynamics. So Simeon is asking, what happens when one member's role is more critical or complex compared to other team members? Like maybe there's one with really great ideas, but they have very few skills when it comes to implementation. So how do you work around that? How do the team dynamics usually come into play during coming up with a startup?
Oh, okay. So first, there is no role which is more important than the other. So if you're looking at for example, like my co-founder's background is in electronics engineering. My other co-founder background was in software engineering. Those are very technical people. My background myself is in civil engineering, but at the same time, like I had my previous experience in being able to push products into the market. So it means like even if like these people are able to build, like probably they are not the best suited people to push this product into the market. They are not the hustlers. They are not the dogs who can go out there and scavenge this thing to have it on people's hands. So what I'm saying is that you need people who can complement each other. You don't want to have to whereby you are just two technical people, like you are good in technical skill. You want, if you are good in technical, then I'm also very good, to go out there and talk to people. If you are good in doing proposals, I'm very good at doing the pitching and talking to investors and selling them the vision. So the idea is like find people who you can complement each other as quickly as possible, because one other thing is that your roles are going to change with time as quickly as they can. So right now, for example, we have a very, very big team. When we were starting out, we were just 3 of us, but as of today, we have a team of around 18 people. So the role I was doing when we were starting is not the same role I'm doing today. But at that point in time, that my role at that point in time was very, very critical to see as start of as in get off the ground. So find people who are very, very complementary. So there's no one who is more important than the other, because if it's a technical team player, they just develop it. They don't have someone to push it into the market, then there's no market for that product. If you have someone who is very, very good in marketing and there's no product to be pushed into the market, they have nothing to be doing then. So find people who are very, very complementary, on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So another question from Faith. She's asking, yes, how do you protect your idea so that someone else doesn't come up with a similar product as you did? Like, how did you protect your idea?
Let me just tell you, first things first is that ideas don't hold a chance in the table. So they're saying, you know, that says that ideas don't hold a chance in the table of men. And in this case, like, let's just say men in the sense that, you know, man, like as a humanity.
Yes.
So what I'm saying here is that ideas, implementation is the game. Implementation is the game. Like, it's the most important thing. So if it's an idea, like you want to move with it quickly into the market, if it's not working, you leave it. Or because you moved so fast, by the time someone was copying it, you have already developed. Let me just tell you a very good case of, for example, so before Facebook, we had a social network which was called MySpace.
Okay.
And MySpace was a social network just like Facebook. And even before WhatsApp, which is very, very efficient and very, very developed, we had you know, a chat thing which was called To Go. I don't know if you know about it. Probably not. But then To Go and WhatsApp had the same idea. To Go was the first people to go into market, but WhatsApp came later and bet them. MySpace was the first people to come, but then Facebook finally, like, you know, overwhelmed them and is the market leader right now. So the thing here is, for ideas, what matters is who is the first person to get it right in implementation. So you could take someone's idea right now, if you think that it makes sense, and go out there and innovate around it and come up with a better business model than them. Or like, you could copy that idea, but you really didn't know, like, what these the person who founded this, what kind of, like, implementation plan did he have? What was his vision? So if you don't have that, that idea will still not hold. But just on that, if you think like it is really good, you can go ahead and file for a patent. Of course, UjuziKilimo filed for a patent for our software, I mean, our hardware kit.
Okay.
Yeah, we did file a patent, but I can tell you for sure, like, the most important thing is just go out there and test this thing, let it work as fast as it can, and then just roll it up in the market. Forget about people copying ideas. Like, but if it's very, very important to you, just file for a patent. Filing for a patent is very easy. They skip. It's called the Kenya Industrial Properties Institute. It filed. You know, you can file for your intellectual property. You can file for a patent. So many things that you can do with that to protect it. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I hope that answers your question, Faith. We move on to Agape. He's asking, how do you define the value of a concept so that you don't overestimate or underestimate its value? So maybe how do you define the value of your idea so that you don't expect too much or too little from out of it?
I think the market will tell you for sure. Simply ask if you could ask someone how much they're willing to pay if they were paying for this service. How much will you be willing to pay? I think you can tell from that. Those are customer service. But at the same time, you could also look at similar companies. So right now, like, I don't think there's anything new which is being done for sure. What we're just doing is innovating, whereby, like, we look at something that is has already been in existence. Maybe it's not working so well. We add a little bit of value to it, and then we bring it to the market. So in this case, then you can look at similar people. What kind of value are they bringing, and how are they valuing themselves? And then you can estimate yourself based on where you are and what you have done. How much do you think, like, you could be worth if you could compare to them? And you can be just be very, very honest to yourself. Don't overestimate yourself, but at the same time, don't underestimate. And if it's in a concept, I'm thinking in lines of starting a business now. First is multiply your costs by 2 and divide your revenues by 2. So it's in the sense that if you have written down your proposal and you think like, I'm going to spend 200,000 shillings to set up this business, or 2 million shillings to set up this, multiply that factor by 2. So ideally, you are most likely to spend 4 million shillings to set it up. And for revenues, if you have estimated that I'm going to be making revenues of 1 million shillings per month, divide that by 3 or 4, in fact, so that you ideally tell yourself that most likely I'll be making revenues of 250,000. So from there, then you can work on and try and see like how much will I be able to make from this business? How long will I take before like I'm able to be cash flow positive? That this business can depend on itself. And what exactly now do I need? If it's financing that I'm raising, how much do I need exactly? Yes. Thank you for that.
Thank you for that answer. So I think now maybe you can tell us, maybe from your own personal experience, just tell us what, just give us a few insights, maybe a few parting shots from everything that you've gone through since you started in 2016 until where you are right now.
Yeah, so first I can tell you like the journey is going to be longer than you had anticipated, and ruthless and breathtaking, that in the moment that you feel like I really need to give this up and just go do some other kind of different things. And your reason for being there are going to change each and every single day. So for maybe for a moment, you wanted to change the world, but the following day, you just want to pay your bills, or the day after tomorrow, then you feel like I could create employment for more people. But whatever reason that is going to keep you glued to this and holding you down for a moment, just hold on to that. And build a very, very strong network. Find mentors. So and the idea here is like in terms of network, you want to see people who have built some of these things before. Reach out to them. Tell them the kind of support that you need. And I can tell you, like, it doesn't have to be financial in this case, because nobody wants to be giving out money right now. Like, people don't have money, but I can tell you, like, there are far more important things than money, like experiences. Like, someone can tell you like the pitfalls to avoid. Because, for example, like if you ask me today, like pitch competitions, if I had to go back, could I use the same kind of strategy that I used to where we are today? I can tell you for sure, probably not. Simply because, in as much as, for example, pitch competitions are very important, they take a lot of time, and you will get to a point that you even lose focus about what exactly you're trying to do. Because if you're finding like business plan competitions that you're just working on, they can actually take all your time, that you even never get a chance to go out to your customers to be able to talk to them, so that they can you can really build this business. Another thing is you want to be building something for more than profits. What I mean by more than profits, I mean that I can tell you for sure, like, profits are very, very, very important, in the sense that you are able to make money. Like, if you're not making money, sometimes it's going to take you longer to be successful. And probably you are looking at yourself like being closer to death each and every single day that you're not making money. So my thing I can tell you is that have those MVPs ready. Go out there and test them. Find people who can purchase them. People are paying for them. At the same time, now be pursuing other business plan competitions, raising investment, building up the team, and all those other things. So be very, very much profit oriented, but also focus on building it even bigger. One other thing is so preserve the core. What I'm saying about preserving the core is know what exactly, like, what is your big vision? What is it that you really want to achieve with this? And in this case, like, I'm not talking about the idea, because I've just told you, like, these ideas change. They change each and every single day. But what is the core thing that I'm doing today? So I'm building technological solutions for irrigation farming to improve farm product, to improve farmers' lives. So that is the core thing that I'm doing. Like, for me, it's technology to improve the lives of farmers. So each and every single day, like, for whatever you do, like, always remain constant to that my focus is on building technology, not just any other thing, so that you are able to really maintain that. At the same time, at the same time, you really want to have a goal, time-oriented goals, and this could be as simple as of today, like, even at idea stage, you could have, like, very, very simple goals that you want to achieve. So I want to be able to have the MVP developed maybe within the next 1 month, to have 3 people testing these within 2 weeks from that, and stick to that. Those small measurable goals. I can tell you for sure, if something is not measurable, then it's not getting done. Then probably you don't know what you're working on. So have those systems in place. Again, just try out a lot of stuff and keep what works. If you're going, if these are your projects, but you're looking to build businesses out of these, your goal is to build a business, not just to generate an idea. So if that idea is not working, shift to the next idea. But the end goal is to build a business, a successful business that can consistently, like, bring innovative products to the market that can impact people's lives, and create value for so many other people. So that is your end goal. For ideas, what work, just definitely be able to keep what works. So Faith asks, if you could go back to 2015 now, what could you have done differently? Oh, okay. I could spend more time with the farmers. I could spend more time, like, trying to understand the farmer needs and finding a solution that farmers can pay for as quickly as possible. Because I can tell you, like, just along the way, sometimes you definitely will get to be able to lose focus. I feel you, like, we participate in so many other business plan competition. At that particular time stage, our focus should have been more on testing it with farmers and having to see farmers if they can pay, so that if we don't know, like, they are not paying, then we can move to something else. But it took us so long, to do that, because I mean, of course, there was school, but at the same time, like, we had so many other things that we were trying to do at that point in time, which definitely, like, can be disastrous for you. And just to tell you about this is that, for us, we didn't have any person we didn't have mentors, for example. we were just people were very green, and we just decided, like, we were going to take our own paths and see like where they lead us. But I'm sure, like, if we had people who had done it before us within our network, we knew them, they could have definitely held us accountable. Because mentors can also held you accountable, whereby, like, if you have a mentor and you have 2 hours per month with them, you definitely want to tell me, like, this month I've been able to build this idea. This is how far I have gone. I've tested it with 5 people. They think that this how they think about it. What do you think I should do next? Or I'm thinking about doing this and this and this and this. Do you think like this would be a good idea? So like, mentors can definitely help you. So I could spend more time with farmers and definitely have a mentor right on the onset. Yes, Faith, for that.
Yeah. So I suppose no one else has any other questions. So yeah, we've come to the end of it. And let me just say thank you, Dickson, so much for that session. It was extremely insightful. Because okay, let me say, for me personally, I am planning to go beyond the Halt Prize. I want to go entrepreneurship. Social entrepreneurship is something that is very close to me. So yes, these are insights that I am definitely going to use to when I go beyond the ideation stage, beyond the starting up stage, and just to take it as far as I possibly can. So I am really grateful. We are all really grateful for this session. Just yeah, that's more or less it. So yeah, we are going to be sharing this video with the rest of our networks for those people who are unable to participate in this session. And also, we're asking whether we can share your contacts with anyone who might want it, maybe your UjuziKilimo email, so that whoever may want to reach out to you may be able to do so.
Yeah, so definitely you can go right ahead and share it. So what I can definitely also tell you that entrepreneurship is very, very paying at the same time, and it's also tough and paying in the sense that when you choose to go into entrepreneurship, know that it's a lifestyle. It's not something that you do today and then you stop. But then it's something that you live with, and is part of you and becomes your character and becomes who you are. And I can tell you for sure is that entrepreneurs work much more longer than the average people are working in the office. So if you're working in the office, you're working from 8 to 5 p.m. I mean, we have employees. We have a team whereby, like, they're working 8 to 5. But these people, that is the number of hours they work. So for entrepreneurs, you'll be working for more hours. And by working, it doesn't mean that necessarily sitting, and you're trying to do something or you're talking with customers. But remember that even the time that you're seated somewhere and you're just thinking about, your small enterprise, wherever it is, that is still part of working. So just have that idea in mind, and it's also very, very comfortable in the sense that once you get used to it, then you realize that you could rather choose to be here than anywhere else, whereby, like, because here you feel like you're in control. So if you're someone who loves to be in control of your own fate, about what you do, want to be responsible for themselves, entrepreneurship is the thing to do, because then it's all about you. Like, if you're not building this, there's no one doing it. If you're not doing something, there's no one who's going to do it for you. So it's all about taking responsibility. So definitely, I wish you all the best in this, and just be free to reach out to me. Sylvia.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to bring to your attention Sylvia's final question.
Which was a mistake you made that cost you greatly? I think we focused more on the outward, what people think of us out there, than what we really care about in the company. In the sense that, for example, like I told you, like you can easily lose yourself in business plan competitions, and there's a time that you are doing so many of them that at that point in time, we completely forgot to build up the company, and we were not focusing on the customers. We were the farmers in this point in time. We were not spending a lot of time with them, but we are just moving around and doing as many pitch competitions as we can. Whatever that is available, we go and do it. Definitely with the goal of winning the prize money, and of course we managed to win a number of them. But some of those prize monies, sometimes they are so small, and you come, there's office, there's so many other expenses. You get to a point that you are addictive to them, because now you don't know like what it takes to build a company. Companies are not built by competitions and prizes and all that kind of stuff. Companies are built by building great products and having customers paying for them. That is, it's as simple as that. Like there's no shortcut to that. Like no matter how many pitch competitions you're going to win, no matter how big your name is going to be out there, if by the end of the day, like customers are not paying for your services, you're not spending time with your customers, it's just a matter of time before you finally call it off. You're going to raise substantial amount of money, but you will completely like lose all that money in things that don't matter. So that definitely costs us greatly. It costs us in time, and a number of times we ran out of money simply because we were doing the wrong thing. Instead of investing in building the product, and in this case, like investing in the team to build a product, and then investing in the market, like a strong marketing team to be out there to meet with the farmers and other development partners who are interested in paying for these solutions. So as you go out there, like number one is the customer. Number one is the customer. Number one is the customer. There's no other thing. Spend time with them and build with them, and have them pay for your services. Yeah. Thank you, Sylvia, for that.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you as well. As I've said, we really appreciate it. I cannot reiterate it enough. We really appreciate it. So now we've come to the end of the session. Yeah. So more or less, that was pretty much it.
Can I interrupt?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Of course, Sylvia.
Another question just came up, and I thought it will take too long. So at any point, did you consider like moving? Like so that you can be somewhere closer to the farmer, like okay, maybe in terms of where you live or something of the sort.
Well, maybe just to get you to understand, like, yeah, we definitely considered moving because we opened our field operations office simply because we wanted to be as close to the farmers as possible. But being closer to the farmer doesn't have to mean like being physically there with them. It means that each and every single day, like your research and the things that you are trying to do as a company and the goal that you're having each and every single day are farm oriented. So that instead of coming to the office or like being seated there and you're thinking about how you're going to, like raise money from somewhere, you could rather spend that time on how can I build a better marketing strategy that is targeting these farmers in different regions. So that is what I mean by being closer to the farmers, like being closer to what they want, being closer to their thoughts. There's also definitely you want to visit them as much as you can. If you have a chance to definitely move there and be there for some time, take that chance, stay there for a month, to be with them each and every single day, see what they are doing, talk with them, meet as many as you can, go to their farmer forums, understand them, so that when you come back to building, then you exactly know who you are building it for, what is their technical levels, what is their level of education, how do they understand these things, what do they think about them. Because there's also something about cultural. I didn't mention this, but for example, we have a soil lab that we test soils. But there are places, I can tell you in Kenya, that you cannot take the soil from the farm of a farmer. Because for them, I think somewhere like what summer, like how are you taking our soil? Unaenda kufanyia nini? Unataka kuroga hizi shamba zetu zisifanye zinini? And the thing is, that is a cultural thing. So when you're designing something, you also want to be aware that farmers don't love some other things taken from them. so that is the importance of being close to the farmer. Like, that is what it means. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. So yeah, we've come to the end of the meeting, so I declare this session closed, and thank you again, Dickson, for that. Yeah, and everyone, I've posted his email on the chat, so if you feel like contacting him, you can contact him through that email. So yes, thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much, and
enjoy your day, enjoy your month, enjoy your year. So yeah.
Bye-bye, stay safe and success in whatever you're trying to do.
Thank you.